for the body of a Zealand man continued today after he fell out of his boat and into Lake Michigan yesterday afternoon. 24-hour News 8's Danny Carlson at the live desk tonight with more on the search and the questions those he left behind have this evening. Danny?
Larry, searchers on the scene tell 24-hour News 8 tonight the biggest obstacle they have to finding 55-year-old Thomas Anzivino is that the water that they think he's in is about 100 feet deep. Friends of the dedicated fisherman tell us tonight they can't figure out what could have possibly gone wrong.
I live next door to the man, and I'm not going to, see him again, and that's hurts.
Thomas Anzivino's neighbor for more than a decade. Tonight, Wayne McCluskey says he's taking comfort his friend died doing what he loved.
I'm sure if he was here, he'd say I was right where I was supposed to be.
But says he's confused how the avid fisherman could have drowned like he did.
We don't know what happened. And I think everybody's is thinking the same. What could have gone wrong? Because he's very experienced in the water. He knew what he was doing. He was not just a novice. I've been on the boat with him fishing before. He was very safety conscious, and he knew how to handle his boat and how to handle the water. And he wouldn't put himself or anyone else in an unsafe situation.
The search for Anzivino's body continues and likely will through at least tomorrow. More than a dozen divers and other law enforcement personnel use sonar and an underwater robot to try to locate him today, with no luck.
For the family's sake, I hope we can bring closure to this.
Ottawa County Sheriff's officials tell 24-hour News 8 Anzivino was fishing about 4 miles offshore yesterday afternoon when he fell in. He wasn't wearing a life preserver.
We preach that. We constantly remind people that it's the best. It's like your seatbelt in your car. It's the best life-saving piece of equipment that you can wear. We wouldn't be here, I'm sure, if that was the case. But humans being what we are, we don't have to do things. Sometimes we just don't, but we should. We all know that.
Something McCluskey says he hopes people take away from this tragedy, a lesson he's sure his friend would want people to heed.
It's never going to happen to you, or it's never going to happen to me. It's always going to happen to another person, and unfortunately, in this situation, it's touched very close to our hearts and to our home. And I just hope that this is never repeated again.
According to the Centers for Disease Control, there are more than 100 drowning deaths in Michigan each year and more than 3,500 in the country each year. One of the major risk factors is not wearing a life jacket while boating. Officials tell us they will assess each day how long the search for Anzivino's body will continue. At the live desk, Danny Carlson, 24-hour News 8.